About a week into 2023, and from the looks of it, just based off the information that we have now, it is looking like it's gonna be a stacked year of some insane sneaker releases. Listen, we do this every single Sunday where we talk about the upcoming sneaker leaks and rumors and confirmed release dates, so if you want to stay in the loop with all of the upcoming sneakers, make sure you subscribe to the channel and chuck me a follow on Instagram. That way you can make sure that you're always up to date and you know what is dropping. Alright, let's get into this very brief recap, like literally hardly anything dropped over the last week. Concord 9s, anybody? Actually dropped on Saturday, and as you can see on the UK website, some of the larger sizes sold out. I'm not entirely sure if they actually dropped out in the US, so let me know down in the comments. Now, the only other one that I kind of wanted to mention, just because it's something that I'm pretty interested in, is this pair of New Balances. This is a new kind of New Balance model. It's called the New Balance 610 V1, and I gotta say, these things are looking pretty sick. Now, I haven't had a pair in hand. I'm gonna try get a pair in and see what they're all about. And that's pretty much it for the release recap. If there was anything else that you managed to cop, again, let me know down in the comment section, but we need to get into this upcoming stuff. First up on today's agenda, I'm gonna quick fire around a bunch of Nike dunks that we have set up to drop this year. Starting off with this one right here. This is, as you can see, the Nike Dunk Low Candy Pink. This one obviously is definitely not for me, and apparently it's only going to be coming in GS sizes anyway. At some point this year, these should be dropping. Next one up I thought is actually very clean, although it does kind of look like a Nike Dunk by You. Take a look at this pair here. This is apparently going to be the Nike Dunk Low Kentucky alternate. Apparently, according to House of Heat, they're saying spring 2023. I mean, given that we've just had a Kentucky restock, I can't see anybody absolutely losing their minds over this pair of shoes, but nevertheless, it's pretty clean. Next up, we've got two Nike swooshes, because why not? Now, again, this one is relatively clean. It's all over gray and white for the upper. In fact, the leather looks to be tumbled, so it definitely looks like a decent pair of dunks. According to House of Heat, these are going to be dropping spring 2023. This is the Nike Dunk Low Gorge Green, very different from the Gorge Green Jordan 1s that we got recently. These are going to be dropping at some point this year. We don't have a specific release date. And probably one of my favorite dunks upcoming is this one right here. This is the Nike Dunk Low Chicago Split. Now, we have taken a look at these before in the past. However, it was a very blurry early image. These are actually some decent ones. These, again, we do not have a release date. They are going to be dropping at some point this year. I just thought it's pretty interesting on a relatively clean colorway. Next up, we've got something slightly different. Take a look at this image right here. This is apparently the athletic department Nike Dunk Low. So obviously Nike continuing with the aged effect on their sneakers. This one is kind of supposed to be inspired by old college sports, if that means anything to you. Definitely not a bad colorway, but nothing that I'm personally going crazy over. It looks like the upper is a mix between canvas and suede. Again, these are going to be dropping this year, no specific release date. Final one we're going to talk about in terms of the Nike Dunk Low is this one right here. Probably, in fact, you know what? It is my favorite on the dunks that we've just spoke about. In fact, the whole Year of the Rabbit collection that Nike and Jordan are doing is actually extremely clean, and I'm a fan of these dunks as well. If you don't recall, we took a look at the Jordan 1s that are part of this Year of the Rabbit collection, and I thought those are super clean. However, they are going to be limited to 5,000 pairs. They follow the same kind of theme, obviously Year of the Rabbit, but in terms of the colors as well, it's also very similar. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one, but let's move on from dunks. Let's talk about some upcoming Jordans. So take a look at this here. This is the Air Jordan 1 High OG Celtics. These are definitely lined up to be one of the more popular Jordans that are going to be dropping. Very clean color blocking. These are going to be dropping on April the 15th this year, and we have taken a look at images, but I did want to show you these ones because this is the best looks that we've had so far. You can see these things very clearly. You can almost assume that it's going to be relatively nice leather based on these images. Probably chuck black or white laces on this pair of sneakers. This is 100% a clean pair of Jordans that I can see people being quite hyped over. I believe the first collaboration pair of Jordans is this one right here. This is another one that we have taken a look at in the past. However, we finally have some on-foot images. These things are apparently supposed to be dropping this month in January. We only recently got the leaks and rumors, but they're supposed to be lined up for January the 27th. Now, I've said that this is a very simple collaboration sneaker, especially from Union and Jordan brand. They normally do some wilder colorways. However, this one definitely takes the more simple approach. So I definitely don't see the hype being incredible for this pair of sneakers, considering it is a Union collaboration. However, I'm kind of looking at this pair of shoes like, yeah, it's clean. If I can get it for retail or maybe even a fraction above retail, I'd rock these things for sure. I gotta say, the nice gray suede that's on the tongue, the interchangeable swoosh is interesting. And even the fact that you can rock these things with no swoosh swoosh it all and you've got this Union LA logo underneath there is very, very cool. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to hear what you have to say about these things down in the comment section. Is this something that you're super hyped about, or is it just kind of a meh sneaker release? Now, another Jordan release, which I think is super clean, I could definitely see these things becoming pretty hyped. Take a look at this here. We've got the best looks yet at the washed black Air Jordan 1 High. They're looking clean, guys. They're set up for a June 10th release date. And as far as like a simple, versatile, wearable pair of Jordan 1s, it doesn't get much simple, wearable, and clean than this pair. Now, the upper comes in what looks to be like a kind of washed suede effect, I guess similar to what we saw on the Hyper Royals from 2020 or 2021. And it kind of has the vintage aspect to it, like obviously not to the extreme extent that some other sneakers have been, but as you can see, it's got the sailed out midsole, even potentially sail laces as well. And the upper, generally speaking, because it's kind of a washed suede, just looks a little bit worn in and broken down. So yeah, I can definitely see this pair of Jordans selling out for sure. Not to mention, it also comes in special packaging, which usually gets the people going. This is actually a pretty decent box. All right, moving on to some New Balance news. We've got an upcoming collaboration, which I am pretty excited about. Take a look at this. This is the Bricks and Wood New Balance 9060, a model that I was a huge fan of from last year. It's super comfy. I think it looks incredible on foot. And actually, looking at this colorway, it is fire. I'm not entirely sure what this underlaid material is with all of like these little circular holes in it, but the upper looks incredible with a mix of like super nappy and kind of shorter hairy suede. And in terms of a release date, unfortunately, we don't have a specific one. It's just going to drop at some point this year. Based on these images looking very official, I would imagine within the next couple weeks, potentially next couple months. So Bad Bunny and Adidas have been collaborating for a while, and they recently dropped their final forum together. So it got a lot of us wondering, what are they going to move on together? Is Bad Bunny going to go and do some other sneaker with a different brand? Well, turns out they're focusing on a similar but different sneaker. Take a look at this here. This is the brand new Bad Bunny Adidas Campus, and it's coming this month. Now, in my opinion, these things just look very similar to the Forum Low silhouette in general. Now, it does have obviously a few different tweaks. The main thing, there's no buckle on this pair of sneakers, which, you know what, funnily enough, I've actually heard that some people actually cut their buckle off of the Forum sneaker and prefer it without it. So maybe if that's the case and you kind of didn't like the buckle on the Forum, then this might be an appealing sneaker to you. These are going to be dropping January the 28th. This looks to be the first colorway. I imagine that they do a bunch of other ones, but yeah, so far pretty good. Let me know what you think of this pair of sneakers, but let's keep it moving. Big Jordan news. So we've been talking about like my predictions for what's going to be the most popular Jordan sneaker for 2023, and I kind of said it's probably going to be the Jordan 4. We've got a bunch of really solid colorways in the pipeline. Well, now we can add to that with probably one of the cleaner pairs of sneakers, and that is this one right here. So this is a Nike SB Air Jordan 4, and this is the pine green colorway. Now, we don't actually have any images of this sneaker. We do know, however, the colorway, which is going to be this, and we also know the color blocking is going to look very similar to the military blacks or the military blue Jordan 4. Now, according to House of Heat, these are going to be dropping on March the 20th, and I really like this rendered image. I really like the way that it looks. If it was made exactly like this, I would buy it 100%. However, if we take a look at what Nice Kicks are speculating this sneaker to look like, it's got a gum outsole. No, that's not a deal breaker. However, I definitely like the looks of the other rendered image, but apparently there is a chance that this could come with a gum outsole. And also, I will mention that Nice Kicks is saying that these are supposed to drop in April, so we've got some conflicting information. House of Heat saying March, Nice Kicks saying April, so just kind of expected it one of those months. Either way, this is not the only Nike SB Jordan 4 collaboration that we're going to see this year. We're also getting a Black Cat colorway, and that has been in the pipeline and leaked and rumored for a while now. Now, sticking with Jordan Brand, we've got possibly one of the most hyped up pairs of Jordans that potentially could drop this year. So take a look at this. It's another Union LA Air Jordan 1 that has been confirmed. Now, the issue with this is that we really don't know hardly anything about this collaboration. All we know is that Union LA is going to be collaborating with Jordan Brand to create a Jordan 1. We know that it's going to be dropping sometime in 2023, and we also know that there's going to be 4 colorways of this sneaker. Now, as you know, a lot of these sneaker blogs are going to try and get the people as hyped as possible, so these speculative mock-ups are literally like what people can dream about. And it seems crazy, like why wouldn't the brands just create a colorway that they know is going to bang? However, usually with these speculative mock-ups, it definitely gets the people a lot more hyped, and then when they see the actual thing. A lot of times they're disappointed. But why not? Let's have some fun. Take a look at this first rendered image. This is in, I guess you could say, the Chicago colorway with a different upper. I gotta say, if this sneaker existed, I would rock it 1000%. This looks incredible. We also created this one as well. I guess you could kind of say obsidian colors to some extent. Again, another incredible colorway that I think most people would absolutely love to see. And then another one was this one, this UNC vibe on this pair of shoes. Again, all of these three colorways, if they actually dropped, people would go absolutely nuts. Now again, this is all speculation, grain of salt, and I'm sure we're gonna get a lot more information on this very, very soon. However, we can take a look at these, appreciate what the concept community has come up with, and of course, as soon as we get some more information on this Union Jordan 1 collaboration, I will keep you guys up to date. All right, moving on to some Adidas or Yeezy news, whatever you want to call these sneakers. So take a look at this here. I've seen a lot more Adidas or Yeezy sneakers pop up recently that potentially could drop as just Adidas sneakers. That of course would potentially happen this year. This is the Adidas or Yeezy 350 V2 light gray. This is another colorway that I think was already in the pipeline. I believe that they produced this sneaker when Kanye was still involved with that Adidas collaboration. So what that would mean is that they have this sneaker and Adidas is currently got it in a warehouse just planning how to actually release them without getting a huge amount of blowback and pushback from people. We don't know anything about the release of this pair of sneakers. We don't know if or when it will actually drop. However, again, Adidas has made it pretty clear that they plan to drop the $530 million of Yeezy products that they have in their warehouses. Now, another pair which is very, very interesting, and it would be crazy if we actually saw a release of this. Take a look at this one. More images of the 450 slide has just popped up, and it seems like this person has a whole bunch of them. This is that, I guess, tan colorway that we saw Kim Kardashian wearing. It was leaked and rumored to drop way back, and it just never came to fruition. I'm not entirely sure what happened to this pair of slides. However, I don't think I've actually seen the IP for this sneaker, so it's unclear at this point who owns this design, whether it's Kanye because he owns the Yeezy slides, or whether Adidas just outright owns this one. All I can say is I can't see Yeezy anywhere on this pair of sneakers. It just has the Adidas underneath, and then same thing for the insole. Either way, those are the two main ones that started recirculating again more recently, so I just wanted to show you guys, but let's keep it moving. Nike seems to be diving into something pretty crazy. In fact, we've kind of seen them do this style of shoe in the past. Take a look at this. This is the Nike Air Max Scorpion. It is absolutely wild, but obviously not wild enough for Nike because they took this colorway and they were like, how can we make this even crazier of a sneaker? Well, we'll throw a goddamn half a leg on this pair of shoes and sell it. That's right, you get this huge knee-high gaiter sheath that kind of covers your bottom half of your leg, and it kind of straps into the midsole of this Air Max Scorpion. And seeing this, I'm like, what came first, the design of the Air Max Scorpion or the idea for the ability to strap things to this pair of shoes? Because if you didn't know, the Air Max Scorpion has these pass-through holes in the midsole of the pair of shoes, so I'm wondering if that was just the design that they went with, and then it was a happy discovery that they could strap things down to it, or whether they designed this sneaker to strap things to it. In terms of release date, we don't have one, but it's very interesting to take a look at. So something that Nike is going to be continuing this year is the Nike Cortez hype train, and the one that's coming up pretty soon we have taken a look at, and of course that is the Clot Nike Cortez. Well, take a look at this image. I don't even know this pair of shoes could do this. This is the first image, or at least the first time I've seen the fact that you can take this shoe apart into two separate pieces. Essentially, this first initial piece, which is the main construction of the sneaker, it doesn't really have a midsole. I mean, it literally just has like a rubber outsole. However, the sheath is really where you're gonna get, I guess, the comfort from this pair of shoes because it seems to have the foam midsole and then the traditional Cortez outsole. I said that this pair of shoes looks like a UGG guard before I knew that you could literally detach it, and now it's practically an UGG guard. These are gonna be dropping at some point this spring and will be coming in 3 different colorways. However, this is the only one that we've seen so far. But yeah, let me know what you think about the UGG guard Cortez. So a lot of people have been talking recently about the upcoming new colorway of the Off-White Air Force One. The next one apparently is going to be exclusive to Paris. This is apparently a sample of the upcoming Ghost Gray colorway, and I think this is the main image that we've seen floating around. So take this one with a grain of salt, but we do know that it is supposed to come in all over gray, and it's going to have some kind of accent color. Now, Ready to Cop on Instagram is suggesting at the fact that the accent color could be orange, as you can see from this little tag here, and then obviously the zip tie. However, Nice Kicks is suggesting that it could just have a black zip tie sky, and then a little green tag over here, which, I mean, it's neither here or there. It's a gray Air Force One. It's gonna fly anyway. It's gonna be dropping this spring only in Paris. So I assume they're gonna do it very, very similar to how they've done the past ones, like the Boston, the Brooklyn. It's gonna have an art museum release, I assume, in Paris, and then potentially a Nike sneakers release again, or a Nike sneakers pass. Virgil obviously loved this silhouette, not just the Louis Vuitton collaboration, but all of the mids and all of these lows. We will definitely get some updates very soon on this pair of sneakers, but did want to show you guys these images, but let's keep it moving. So one of my biggest speculations for 2023 was the fact that a lot of brands are going to move into, I guess, more comfort foam sneakers. Take a look at this here. Billie Eilish teams up with Jordan brand to launch an all-over black Jordan Hex mule. So, yeah, it's very interesting to say the least. It kind of looks like a regular slide with just a squared off midsole to it. This is the black pair. It's got some little ventilation holes on the medial side, which is definitely good. However, this is not going to be the only colorway. There's going to be a bunch of other ones. So take a look at this. This is going to be a blue one. This is not part of the Billie Eilish collaboration. And then we're going to have the slide version of this pair of shoes with nothing to do with Billie Eilish. And they look very, very similar. You just have your toes exposed on this one. And we've got 3 different colorways so far. We've got a yellow, a black, and a tan color. All of these mules and slides should be dropping this summertime. Nike is also jumping on this trend slightly. This is Nike's new leap forward into the slide category called the Nike Calm Slide. The headline reads, Nike's Calm Slide looks to fill a void in the sneaker market. Need I say any more? When it comes to a slide, you've got a midsole and a strap that goes over the top. So yes, these look like Yeezy slides, but so do a lot of other slides. There is definitely something to say that ever since the Yeezy slide did come out, and it was literally the most popular thing, everybody wanted to get their hands on it. A lot of other brands came out with earth tone colorways of a one-piece foam slide. Anyway, these are apparently going to be dropping this fall, which seems bizarre. I feel like they should definitely drop them in the summertime. Either way, fall time for Nike. Let me know what you think about the Nike Calm Slide. But I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be pretty happy to hear this next story. So take a look at the headline here. Former LaserShip manager pleads guilty to stealing Nike sneakers. This is like one of the wildest things that happened in 2022 was the fact that not just LaserShip, but a lot of these shipping companies got blamed for stealing sneakers. This seems to be like the first story we've seen of someone actually being held accountable. And it says here, police say that Jarvis Foster stole 11 pairs of Nikes while employed by the delivery company, after an internal investigation led to surveillance footage of him stealing the shoes. LaserShip is a company that is, I believe, only out in the US. I know that we don't have it here in the UK. From what I'm gathering, what a lot of people are saying is that LaserShip is the worst. And it's funny because here in the UK, we kind of have the same thing. There's a delivery company, which from, again, most people say is the absolute worst. Now, I'm not going to say their name, but if you're from the UK, you know who I'm talking about in terms of this delivery company. That pretty much wraps it up, guys. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.